Hey there, welcome to day 1112 of What's She Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, documenting my journey as I transition from the brick and mortar corporate world of business to the online world of business. And my trials and tribulations, what works, what doesn't work, what I've been doing, what I'm doing, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic, COVID-19, during the pandemic. It just seems so long ago now that we're in 2021 to say 19. But I actually believe that I had COVID in December of 2019. So to me, it just fits that it's COVID-19. All right, so what do we want to talk about today? What am I doing today? Just finished the 13th day of the 6th Get Up and Go Challenge. We're doing Get Up and Go Challenge. I think I'm going to do it again this year. I loved doing it last year. I think I'm going to continue to do it this year. Not only does it, I think, help a lot of people, but it certainly positively impacts my life. It keeps me moving in the direction I want to go, getting up and going every single day instead of letting things outside of me impact me. Believe it or not, even when you work a long time and work hard on certain things, they still can creep in and have a negative impact on you if you're not careful, if you don't actually put things in place to ensure that those outside impactors, outside forces don't squeeze in and cause negative things to go on in your life. Now, again, easier said than done, especially when we're inundated with so many things right now. The COVID-19 has just barraged everyone and tipped us over and had us change and morph and pivot and whatever you want to call it in unimaginable ways. Now, it's had positive impacts, but it's also had some negative impacts. So today for the Get Up and Go Challenge, we were talking about the O in the SOAP framework. SOAP framework is a framework that I started teaching last year on how to guarantee that you'll have better results after any change or challenge that you face than before you experience that. It's a thing I've been doing for decades, but I was doing it on autopilot, so I wasn't thinking about what I was doing. So a lot of people dread when a change or a challenge comes their way. I always automatically shift and get excited about it because I know those are the times that I'm going to experience growth and expansion and moving in the direction I want to go faster than I ever even had imagined possible. And guess what? Change is inevitable. No matter what, change and death, you can count on those two things. There's not much else you can bank on, but those two things are things that are absolutely guaranteed to happen in your life. And how you respond to it, how you react to it, how your mind works, how your thinking and your feelings engage with that determines whether you have a happy life, a good life, positive life, or an absolutely grueling, torturous, traumatic, miserable experience. Two people can face the exact same circumstances and challenges in their life, yet one can be totally happy and grateful for everything that happens and all the blessings and all that they learn. The other person can be traumatized and negative and hate and feel like a victim and be a victim for their entire life. But the choice is always ours. I mean, we all have good and bad things that happen in our lives, and how we deal with them and how we respond to them and what we do about them is the only thing that matters. So today we were talking about the O in SOAP, which is all about options and possibilities. And we used a tool called the Imagination Station, which I borrowed from my granddaughter. She said that at school they have a little station. They have different stations where they do activities. And she's actually luckily able to go to kindergarten, which is, I think, is awesome. It's so good for the kids. A lot of areas still don't have school running, but she does in her area. So one of the things she was telling me about is they have an imagination station where they go, and a certain time and certain days of the week they have these schedules. Everything's scheduled, but it's like more complicated than I could remember. But sometimes they get to go to the imagination station. There's all kinds of props and tools and fun things that they can just play with and use their imagination. I think that's such a powerful thing, and unfortunately, that using our minds to create what we want and using our imaginations to have fun experiences is something that tends to kind of get beaten out of us as we go to school. I don't know, it's probably even by first or second grade, you don't have any time for imagination and using your imagination. There's definitely no imagination station where you go and play and pretend and have fun, except we as adults can create that and remember that and add that back to our life. So last year, during COVID-19, I was blessed with the opportunity to spend a ton of time with my beautiful granddaughter. I now have two beautiful granddaughters as of last week, exactly a week ago today. But I just have the one granddaughter right now. I just heard the second granddaughter cry. That's so funny. She doesn't hardly cry at all. She's such a great baby. I don't know that my daughter and her husband realize how lucky they are, because she is such an awesome little baby. You know, the first weeks are usually the hardest, and she's been hard and challenging. It's hard for them, but nothing like a lot of people experience. Nothing like I experienced with my son. Oh my God, that first 2 weeks, I was just a wreck. So our imagination station, we can go there anytime we want to create and think about the life that we want in any area or aspect of our life. We can use it to imagine and focus on what we want. It's so easy to get sucked into the trap of being a victim, being miserable, focusing on the negative, focusing on the things that we don't want, the things that are happening and all the things that are bad about it, instead of the things that are happening and looking for all the things that are good about it, all the blessings that are hidden and the advantages that are hidden in anything that immediately, you know, comes our way and feels like an attack or a challenge or a change. And so we can create that imagination station for ourselves as adults. Guess what? No one's going to do it for us. Nobody's going to say, oh, Sharon, you should go spend 5 minutes, you know, just chilling and imagining how you want things to be. I don't know, no one's ever told me that. Would be nice, I guess, but we can give ourselves permission to do that. So that was our tool today for the SOAP, the O in the SOAP framework, because the O is all about what else is possible. What are the options? What are my options to get from where I am, the situation, what it is? I want to look at what it really is to where I want to be, right? Supersize Your Business today was absence makes the heart grow fonder. And this is one that many of us have had a lot of experience with, you know, both, and it's one of those idioms that can go either way, right? Sometimes absence indeed does make the heart grow fonder. Other times, absence shows us that our heart wasn't actually as fond as we thought it was. Or the person that we are missing didn't have the same feelings or beliefs about the relationship as we did. I've been in long distance relationships romantically. I've been in long distance remote working relationships, and a whole lot of us are doing that right now with COVID-19 and the pandemic. A lot of people have gone from going into the office every day or into the shop every day or the manufacturing environment or the sales position business or whatever, or the customer service office or cubicle or whatever you worked in, and are recreating and doing that work from home. Not only just that work from home, but that work from home plus your kids are home, plus your spouse is home trying to either work from home or help with the family, and it's like a totally different environment than what we're used to. And again, there's positives and negatives about that. I've been working from home since, for a long time. I've always had a business on the side, so I've always had like an office set up where I could work from home, but it wasn't until 2003, I think 2003, when I made the cut with corporate America and decided, all right, I'm going to do my own businesses. Yet I didn't work from home. I always had businesses outside of my house, and I would go to them every day, mostly as an escape and as a way to get out of the house and do things I wanted to do. Because the kids were at school, so I wanted to have things to do too that didn't involve housework, right? So absence makes the heart grow fonder. I actually love this idiom because it reminds me that it is one of those that can be positive or negative, and it's situational. It totally depends on the situation that you're involved in, whether you feel and miss people or not. I mean, I remember going off to college and missing my high school friends, and then some of them I didn't miss at all. Some of the people that I saw every single day of my life for like 12 years, because I live in a small town, people that I'd been around for 12 years, I realized there's a whole world out there besides my little town, and I didn't miss them as much as I thought I was going to. Yeah, I got a little homesick, but I missed my family and my sisters and my parents more than the people that I hung out with for 12 years going to high school, or going to grade school and high school. Grade school, middle school, and high school. We had all three back then. I just think, they've got it structured to have all three in my town now too. So love this idiom, love this expression, and it's very applicable to our business. If there's always a constant supply of everything that people need, depending on your industry, depending on your products and services, it's a staple. Like I think of certain things, like if I'm buying butter, I'm always going to have butter in the house, right? I'm always going to have butter in the refrigerator. And is the brand very important to me? Me personally, not particularly. I just want good grade A or whatever, grade AAA butter. And so I'm just going to buy it whenever I need it, right? So supply and demand isn't a huge problem to me unless, for example, something like COVID comes along and the shelves are empty. There isn't butter, or there isn't toilet paper, or there isn't cleaning products that all of us have taken for granted for so long because people are buying them all up. So supply and demand can make the heart grow fonder. It can also super duper irritate your customers because they can't get what they want from you. But it can be used both in positive ways and negative ways. Number one, it forces us to improve our supply chain, to improve all of the links in that chain to make sure that we have what our customers expect. Number two, we can use it to test and try. I used to use it in the Italian food business. I would make limited runs of different flavors of ravioli to test and try and see if the market wanted those, if they liked them better than our primary core flavors of ravioli. And it turns out some they liked, some they didn't. But every time I'd make a short run of something, the length of time it took for it to sell out indicated to me whether that would be a product we should add to our product line or not, or have available on a seasonal basis. For example, we did seafood ravioli and lobster ravioli, and we would just do it around the holidays because that was the time that people wanted to up their ravioli meals and have a slightly different variety and flavor. There's tons of businesses. I'm sure you can think of a handful for sure of businesses that do this. They have limited flavors, limited runs, and you have to get them at a special time, or you miss out, or you have to wait till they cycle through their system of offering that flavor or that product or service again. We can do that if we're working remotely and if we're working in the online world by having office hours, right? These are our office hours. Even though we're working remotely, I'm only working 9 to 5 like I would if I was going into the office. So you can reach me from 9 to 5, and then at 5 o'clock, I exit my office door, I punch out in my mind, I shut the door, and I don't work on my office, depending on your situation, be how that would work for you. So absence makes the heart grow fonder. Love this expression. I would love to know your stories about this, or if you've got a great experience with absence making the heart grow fonder. And I have stories, again, both positive and negative, that work with that, and it's just fun to think back. I'm loving these idioms and what they mean, because it triggers my memories, and it reminds me of tools and things and strategies and situations and people and resources that I realize I have, but I've totally forgotten about. Centering challenge today. Ooh, this is a good one. This was our 365-day challenge this year. My 365-day challenge this year is to do one thing every day that centers me or centers you. And today it was a Martin Luther King quote on what you would die for. And we're sharing what we would die for. What would you die for? What is something that is so important to you that you would actually die for it? Now, I don't know about you, but there are a whole lot of things that I would die for. I'm pretty open, but my kids and my grandchildren, I would absolutely positively, in a heartbeat, die and trade my life for. Apparently, a decade or so ago, I would have died for my job and my businesses, because I almost did, but I do not feel that way anymore. I definitely would not die for anything business related right now, which maybe is an indication to me that I need to focus in on and serve a group of people at a much higher level than I am, because I'm just serving in a certain way, but I'm not all in on this is a group of people that I am here as a human being to serve and help and grow and teach and share what I know with. So I think that I'm actually doing a 14-day challenge that I am behind on. I've consumed all the content, but I'm behind on the homework with that challenge because I'm doing my own challenge and my other clients and customers and things. So I have previous commitments, but I like to listen to and follow along on other people's challenges. And the biggest challenge for me personally is still my branding. You know, I'm sitting here with my pajama grandma robe on my lap. And so I haven't done, I guess it's only been since January 8th was my last pajama grandma do one fun thing every day challenge. But I still have a great affinity to pajama grandma. She's such a big part of me and who I am and how I actually want to show up in the world and encourage other people to just be who they are, be yourself, and you'll find the exact place in the world that you're meant to be. I honestly believe that. So I know I'll find mine and you'll find yours as well. That's it. That's all I've got today. I've got a gazillion things to do. I'm looking at a whole pile of things that I've committed to getting done this weekend. I'm pre-reading and pre-screening a book for one of my favorite people in the whole wide world. And it's on a topic that is really challenging for me personally. It's about finding your soulmate, which I'm surprised I just said that out loud because it seems so strange. But she is, I finished the book yesterday. I'm going through, she's a hypnotist, and so she teaches, as she goes through the book, she teaches lessons on how to find your soulmate. But a lot of it is things that are applicable to any area or aspect of her life, has nothing to do with finding your soulmate. But she does hypnotic scripts. She shares scripts throughout the book, which I think is amazing. And I have downloaded those, but I haven't had a chance to go back and go through and read all the scripts because I wanted to make sure I got the book done by the 14th so that I could leave her a review, because it's an excellent book and I think it's going to help a lot of people. I actually want to get a copy. I'm going to buy a copy. I want to buy a copy for my son. She gave me a copy to pre-read and screen, but I'm definitely buying a copy tomorrow as part of her launch to get her to #1 best-selling status. And I want to give that copy to my son because I think it's something that would really help his heart to heal. I mean, all of us get our heart broken sometimes, and depending on how long we stay in that mode, and I gotta admit, I'm terrible about this. So as much as I was like, nah, I don't want to read anything about a soulmate, I agree with everything she said in it, and everything she's got in it are you know, tools and things that I've seen and heard before. But I love that she adds her unique area of expertise, and she shares her personal stories, and then she also has the hypnotic scripts or the hypnosis scripts that we can read, we can record in our own voice on our phone. My son taught me that a few years ago, to take your affirmations and read them in your own voice, or say them in your own voice and record them, and then just listen to the recording. And I don't think it's as powerful as saying them out loud and actually saying them in your own voice, but it's a more passive way to, I like to listen to when I go on walks and things. It's a more passive way to remind me of those things in my own voice than if I weren't doing it at all, right? If I was just walking around. That's it. That's all I've got today. Any questions, hit me up in the comments below. Otherwise, or direct message me. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow and just kind of chat and let you know what I'm doing. Have an amazing day.